Hello everyone. This issue brings you DTF.Pro's new customer course. First of all, remove the outer packing, and check the appearance for any damage, bruises, etc. If nothing happens, we go inside the machine. You can see a silver fixing clip on the belt, which is used to fix the ink truck. We need to use a screwdriver to remove it. All packaging accessories and parts inside the machine need to be removed. Now let's install the paper cutting fixture. Please watch carefully. We can see 2 screws on the machine, which need to be in a semi-loose state. According to the reserved holes and hooks, place the paper cutting platform exactly on the machine. Tighten the screws for fixation. There is no need to tighten them completely, as long as the paper cutting platform can be fixed. You need to pay special attention that the paper cutting platform after installation must not be higher than the heating plate, otherwise it will affect the advancement of the PET film paper. The next step is to go to the back of the machine and install PET roll film paper. Please watch carefully. There will be 3 hex screws on both the left and right sides, and we need to use a hex wrench to remove them while retaining the screws. We need these 6 hexagonal screws when installing the drum bracket. Install the support bracket for the film paper, paying attention to distinguishing between the left and right sides. Please watch carefully. Only 3 hexagonal screws are needed for fixation. Now install the right support bracket, and the fixing method is the same. This is the installed status. You can compare and view it. We can place the bearing rod of PET film paper on it, and rotate it twice to see if it can rotate smoothly. Now let's install PET film paper, and remove the bearing rod. Loosen the screws and remove the black drum wheel. Put the PET film paper into the bearing shaft. Here we need to pay special attention to the fact that PET film paper has both printing and non-printing sides, and the correct printing side is the one facing upwards. Only by using the correct printing surface can the printing effect be correct. If the ink in the printing effect is in a flowing state, then it is using the wrong PET printing surface. Insert the black drum and tighten the screws. Please note that the PET film paper on the roll must fit perfectly into the black roll. Go to the left side of the machine, and lift the switch of the paper roller to keep it open. Manually thread the PET film paper through the pressure roller. Pull the PET film paper to load it onto the printing platform. The PET film paper must pass under the silver iron sheet of the pressure paper. We press the paper roller switch, and the paper roller will lower. Let's now check if the PET film paper is perfectly placed underneath the silver iron sheet. The silver iron plate on the left needs to be adjusted according to the size of our PET film paper. Also let the silver iron sheet press down on our PET film paper. Loosen the screws on the silver iron plate. Please note that it only needs to be loosened, and does not need to be removed. Move the iron sheet to the right so that it perfectly presses against the edge of the PET film paper. After adjusting, you can tighten the screws. Now let's double check if the installation is perfect. The left door can be closed now. Start powering on and starting the machine now. Before starting the machine, be sure to check whether the voltage on the label matches the voltage you are actually using. If there are any abnormalities, please contact the technical personnel. This is the temperature control display of the heating plate. The temperature was already set when the machine left the factory, and there is no need for secondary adjustment. Press left. It is normal for the ink truck to move to the far left, and automatically stop when it moves to the far left. Press right. It is normal for the ink truck to move to the far right and automatically stop when it moves to the far right. Press forward. Let the membrane paper automatically load forward. When the membrane paper moves forward, pay attention to observing whether there are any abnormalities or warping of the membrane paper. This is the method to check whether the membrane paper is installed correctly. PET film paper must be kept in a flat state. Continue to install according to the forward direction, allowing the film paper to continue moving forward by 1 meter. It is necessary to check whether the film paper is flat and not inclined, warped, or bent. Check the smoothness of the film paper, which is the key point of this lesson. Otherwise, during the printing process, PET film paper warping or bending and scratching the print head will cause irreparable damage to the print head, leading to damage or blockage of the print head. Damaged print heads can only be purchased for a fee to replace. The data connection line of the machine's network port will be bundled with a white USB drive which contains software and teaching videos. We'll take it down. Insert the network port data cable into the dedicated network interface of the computer, and the white USB drive is inserted into any USB port. Cables and white data disk plugged into the computer. Create a new folder on the C drive, which can be named DTF. If you have antivirus software on your computer, add the DTF folder as a trusted folder on the antivirus software. If you do not have antivirus software, the Win10 system comes with the Windows Security Center, and we need to add a trusted folder in the Windows Security Center. Select the DTF folder and add it as a trusted folder. Copy all the contents of the white USB drive directly to the trusted DTF folder. This is the folder that controls the printing software. If it is in the form of a compressed package, we need to unzip it and extract the folder inside. Send printing software to the desktop and create shortcuts. After the software installation is completed, we need to install Microsoft's Runtime Environment Library. Double-click to install and continue clicking on Next. After installing the Runtime Library, we click on Control Panel. Click on Network and Internet. Click on Network and Sharing Center. Click on the Ethernet icon. Please watch carefully. The display here is 1 GB, indicating that your computer has a gigabit network port that is sufficient to support machine input. If your computer only has a 100M network port output, then we need to use a network port converter to convert it into a gigabit input port. After using the network port converter, please observe if it has been converted to 1 GB. If it has been converted to 1 GB, it indicates successful conversion. If it has not been converted to 1 GB, please contact technical personnel. Special situation: if you have inserted 2 network cables, and do not know how to distinguish which one is the printer data network port, then we can use this method to confirm. Right-click to open the printing software. Select the correct network cable access port, and fill in the IP address. The IP address can be 192.168.127.118. If this icon turns green, it indicates that the machine and computer have successfully connected, as well as the software and IP address. Printer status prompt box, indicating that the machine is ready. Thank you for watching. See you next class. We add ink based on the color identification on the ink bottle. Pour the ink from the ink bottle onto the machine's ink bottle. K equals black, C equals blue, M equals red, Y equals yellow, W equals white. After adding ink, we need to move the ink cart to the middle by pressing left. Turn off the main power and let the ink truck stay in the middle. There will be one screw on both sides of the protective cover on the ink truck. We need to temporarily dismantle it. After the screws are removed, we can remove the ink car protective cover. Now proceed to extract the ink from the ink cartridge, extract all the air in the pipeline, and then extract 5 ml of ink. Please note that when holding ink bags, we should hold both sides of the ink bags, and avoid squeezing the middle. The extracted ink cannot be reused. Please treat it as waste ink. After extracting 5 ml ink, we will insert the ink cartridge into its original position, and prohibit pulling out all ink cartridges at once. When extracting the next ink cartridge, please pay attention to cleaning the orange syringe with a tissue or dust-free cloth. Now use the same method to extract the next ink bag. Due to time constraints, I will only demonstrate extracting 2 ink bags. You need to strictly extract 510 ml of ink from all ink cartridges, and insert each ink cartridge into its original position. Thank you. Now that we have extracted the ink bags, we need to power them on, and start them up. The machine will have 3 waste ink pipes, namely the waste ink pipe for the color printing head, and the waste ink pipe for the white printing head, as well as 1 waste ink pipe for the printer ink station. We need to strictly extract 510 ml of waste ink from white and colored waste ink pipes. Let's go to the software to automatically clean the print head. Automatically clean all print heads on the software. During the cleaning process, the printer control icon is dimmed, and will be restored after cleaning is completed. After cleaning the print head, we will print the nozzle status diagram, and press the test button on the control panel to proceed. After receiving this command, the machine will print a status map of the print head. After printing is completed, the ink truck will return to the original point for resetting. Now let's take a closer look at the status diagram. Please send the printed status diagram to the technical personnel for viewing to see if it is qualified. Thank you. This is a close-up of the print head status chart. When we look at the status chart, we make a judgment based on its line chart situation. The standard good state is that the line chart has no broken needles or cross colors. The status chart is the inkjet report of the print head, and we must maintain a daily status report to pay attention to the ink output status of the print head. Thank you for watching. See you next class. Now let's install the RIP software. Open the C drive, open the DTF folder, and open the second folder. This is the installation package for Procolored software. Double-click to install it. During the installation process, all prompts are clicked Install, Agree, Next, I accept, and Complete. The desktop has already displayed the Procolored icon, indicating that the Rudu software has been installed. Right-click to open the software. If the software cannot be opened, a prompt will appear indicating that the encryption lock cannot be found, indicating that your blue USB drive or encryption lock has not been inserted into the computer's USB port. You must insert an encryption lock to open Procolored software. After entering the software, the first step is to modify the language. Choose the language according to the user's needs. Available in Chinese and English respectively. Choose preferred size units based on user needs, including cm, mm, and inches. Set the canvas size based on the model purchased by the user. The demonstration machine is A3 in the form of coiled material, so input 300 mm and there is no requirement for length limitation. Enter the Procolored control background. Click on Printer Management. This is the location for software parameter binding. Please carefully watch the video for the correct parameter ICC binding. Click Import Printer. Select the curve file in the curve folder in the second folder. After selecting the curve file, click Open. Set imported printing parameters as default. The Procolored software has been successfully installed and set up this time. See you next class. We need to open the control software and keep it connected. Import picture. Prioritize PNG images for easy identification of RIP software layers. Select the image you want to print and click Open. Modify the size of the image to not exceed the size of the film. Here are 4 kinds of white formation methods, which can be selected according to the needs of users. Choose 100% white under any color pixel to print white ink. According to the outline of the picture, white ink is printed, where white is displayed on the preview pattern. Click on RIP. There will be 3 parameters in this, namely 8 pass, 12 pass, and 16 pass, which correspond to 3 different printing speeds and qualities. The higher the number of passes, the slower the printing speed, and the finer the effect. Suggest using 12 pass. Select whether to mirror according to printing requirements. DTF process requires mirroring. Automatically print after selecting RIP, and the machine will automatically print after successful RIP. If you manually print after selecting RIP, you need to successfully rip the image and manually click Print. When the RIP picture progress bar is full, the machine will start printing. After the image is printed, the ink cart will return to the original point for resetting. This concludes the new client course. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your cooperation and support.